What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about what it's like traveling in Norway. We have here today this video of this woman who has visited Norway and is talking about her observations and honestly her tips and things you should know and expect to see when traveling around Norway. Some of the things you really wouldn't think about unless you have gone to Norway and seen it for yourself. So I'm actually very excited to hear about the things that stuck out to her when she visited Norway. Some of the things that are very different, especially for an American who, like me, who's never been to Norway. Some of the fun, interesting stuff that's just different. And that she observed in her time there. So I'm excited to see this and what she has to say. So let's take a look.
Number one, there is a lot of tall people. And
Tall people? There's a lot of tall people. That's not what I expected to be number one on the list. There's a lot of tall people. Like, now I want to see some stats about this. That's honestly cool. You know, when Americans think about Norway, they think about like Vikings and like Scandinavia Vikings and big, huge people, big, strong men and women. So the fact, it's funny that she says she saw a lot of tall people. So maybe there's a little bit of truth to that whole thing.
I don't know if because I was born and raised in Asia, so tall people intimidates me. Like,
Okay, so she grew up in Asia, where there's a lot of people who are actually a lot shorter on average compared to Norway, which is taller. So it's extra shocking to her.
not in a bad way, but just wow. Like I would, I guess, marvel at their height. Is that discriminative? And this thing about
Is it it's a stereotype, but it's a good one at least.
the weather in Norway. I mean, you hear people
Oh, number two,
discriminative. And this thing,
expect the rain. Rain. So it rains a lot. I know the weather can be very extreme in Norway, very cold, and people like to travel. Norwegians like to travel outside of the country to get away from the weather. I didn't know there was a lot of rain.
about the weather in Norway. I mean, you hear people describe Scandinavian weather being really rainy and
Huh.
hardly you can hardly see the sun.
Wow, that's like England, like London. That's known for rain in America. Norway is not really known for rain in America. This is new to me.
You thought, well, I thought it was just an exaggeration, but when I actually got to Norway,
Huh.
I seriously, I think there was only 29 hours of sunny weather
Really?
that you can
Wow.
actually see sun coming through the clouds.
Does this have to do with the time of year? Or is it just rainy in general? Or is it like a seasonal thing? Now I'm curious about this.
28 hours during the whole 10 days that I was there. And I guess if you are traveling mostly in Oslo, which is the capital, you see more of the sun. But when you
Huh.
get to the more of a, I guess, suburban area, the Ford, Bergen, Flom,
Okay.
Voss, expect the rain.
The ra- expect the rain. I didn't know this. I'm glad. I guess you got to keep your umbrella with you, huh?
Equip all your waterproof clothing, boots, rain boots, umbrellas, raincoats,
Wow.
everything.
Wow, because I've heard a lot about the winter and snow in Norway. Yeah, people will think about snow in Norway, and I mean, it depends on how north or south you are in Norway, but rain, okay.
Despite the rain, people in Norway don't really carry umbrellas around.
What? Wait, what? What? That made the list. It literally contradicts exactly what I just said. I was like, make sure to keep your umbrella. No, apparently not. What? Norwegians are just so tough, so used to the rain that you don't even need your umbrella?
Program, even though it's like pouring. I guess it's just so rainy all the time that they're used to walking in the rain, biking in
Huh.
the rain, do everything in
Huh.
the rain. I mean,
Well, it looks like a lot of people have jackets or and ponchos to protect themselves rather than umbrellas. Maybe it's more common to just have a raincoat instead of a whole umbrella.
you notice this more when you're out of Oslo, the capital city.
Huh.
And this one thing is also true about the cities, the towns outside of Oslo. That is, forget about the prices.
Forget about yeah, I was waiting for this. Forget about the prices because if there's one thing Norway is known for that I've heard about time and time again, it's that Norway is expensive, and if you're traveling to Norway, just don't worry about it. If you're a tourist traveling to Norway, just don't worry about the prices. They're going to be high. Just enjoy yourself.
When you're in a city, I guess it's more accessible to resources. But when you're out and about in the suburban area, it's just hard. The resources are just scarce. So you really need to relax a little bit with your wallet to.
Oh, that's interesting. She's saying when you travel in Norway outside of Oslo and other big cities, it just gets more difficult to have a lot of the resources, food, and stuff delivered everywhere and accessible to every single part of Norway all the time. So that can drive up prices. That actually makes sense.
To enjoy Norway because you wouldn't want it to stop you from trying all the exotic meats.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I've seen some of the exotic meat in Norway. It's shocking how different that can be to America. Like, I've even heard of whale meat, reindeer, other stuff that just to Americans is so different that it would almost be scary to try, even though it's obviously perfectly normal in Norway.
Okay, I have to admit,
Oh my gosh, is that a shark? Is that a shark? Like shark meat? I didn't know there was. Man, okay. There's even more meat that I didn't even know was eaten in Norway.
that when I saw whale burger on
Yeah.
the menu,
Whale burger. Whale burger. That doesn't sound real.
I mean, I and it didn't even taste that good. Honestly,
Oh, is that it? Oh, she actually bought it? She actually bought a whale burger. Honestly, it looks good. It looks like normal. I don't know what I expected it to look like.
and it didn't even taste that good. Honestly,
Oh.
whale meat, it tastes very fishy and not a pleasant taste. I mean, maybe it's the restaurant.
Huh. Whale meat. I bet it tastes unlike any other meats I've ever had. Because it's not even a land animal, it's like a fish. So that's going to be different. Man, whale meat. That is probably so weird. But if you're Norwegian and you've grown up with it and you've had it throughout your life, it's probably normal. But it's probably so different to any meat she or me has ever had. That just makes it strange, maybe difficult to enjoy.
But, well, patty, it's no, it's not something I want to try again. And when you're in the
Huh.
capital city of Oslo, you can't help but notice that everywhere you go, you see elements of art and design.
Oh.
And I mean, that's when I arrived at the airport. I walked into the bathroom in the airport. I was like, wow, this is really simplistic, minimalist.
Yeah, I have noticed that about Norway. It's funny that she's admiring the bathroom in Norway, but it's seriously the architecture, the buildings everywhere in Norway has this very modern, beautiful look or artistic. There's just art and modernism and Also some creative stuff everywhere in Norway. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
Tick, and just really gives you that fresh and clean look.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
guess that says a lot about how people live.
Yeah, it does say something about Norway. It's very cool. It's very like refreshing.
Just a simple life. But one thing. When you're traveling and like taking the bus, the ferry, the metro in their capital city, Oslo, you go on the bus, they don't check your tickets. You just go on it, and occasionally you'll encounter the ticket person. He would come up on the bus and come up to check.
Oh, This one is about faith and humanity. This one is about trust. Norwegians actually trust each other and have faith that Norwegians are going to act decent and trustworthy. So she is saying she is surprised you can go on the bus and they won't even check that you've paid. They won't even check for your ticket sometimes, which is completely opposite to America. Nobody trusts anyone really in America. People will check you for your tickets at athletic sport events or on the bus or on the subway. You're always going to be checked that you paid, because there's a lot of people committing crime trying to sneak in, and there's just it's nothing like this. It's nothing like this at all. This is one of the most impressive things about Norway to me, the trust Norwegians have in each other. It's beautiful, honestly. It's commendable.
Your ticket spontaneously. But other than that, it's just an amazing demonstration of the faith and trust in humanity. They trust
Yeah.
you that you would pay the ticket.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Literally, that seems so normal to Norwegians, I think. But that is just crazy to Americans. Like, that is, I can't even imagine. That sounds so nice. It sounds not real. Like, I can't imagine.
that's something. That really speaks to me about how Norway is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you could never have this kind of trust in America, because Americans would just exploit it, just take advantage and not pay and just take stuff for free. So that, unfortunately, like, there's a good reason why it is how it is in Norway and it is how it is here. So,
More developed than most of the countries.
wow. Okay.
Hi there, I'm Paul from.
Oops. Whoopsie.
So when people
Okay. That was good. That was good stuff. Wow. This was by Iris U, and I enjoyed it. I got to give this video a like. That was great. This was actually a pretty unique list of things, things you should know when traveling Norway, but also just things about Norway that are just fascinating and kind of shocking to me as an American, honestly. The trust, the rain. I didn't know it was so rainy. That kind of makes me a little sad. Like, and apparently I'll kind of stick out if I have my umbrella. Sorry. The high prices, the food, the meat, the different meats. Yeah, yeah. The weather, tall people, tall people. That's funny. And the beautiful design, the architecture and design. Yeah, these are just reasons to see Norway for yourself. This is just like, it's incredible. Truly one of a kind of country. So different. That's what I love about it. So different. So like good, like a shining example of what life could be like with polite, super tall, trustworthy people everywhere, right? That's what it's like, right? But seriously, kind of the truth. Anyway, I enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like. or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway, Norwegian culture, and stuff in Norway I've never seen or learned about, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.